Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Raider Sports. How are we doing today? So a lot of us have on YouTube have been talking about realignment. It's pretty much all college football is talking about right now. And all we're getting is a lot of inaction. And I couldn't figure out why the Pac-12 wasn't doing anything. It's kind of obvious that the Pac-12 sooner or later would have to expand, right? But nothing's been happening, and I couldn't figure out why. And we were, and I'm like, the obvious choices: Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, and SMU. Those seem to be the big four everybody's throwing around. So why not just scoop them up? Well, I remembered I made a video about a year ago in which I talked about what would happen if the Big 12 blew up and who would go where. And in the video, I talked about the prerequisites to go to the Pac-12 and the bottom basic minimal requirement to get into Big 12 membership is you have to be a Tier 1 research facility or a designated R1 school. And so I went back, looked at the list. None of the big group of 5 teams are on the list. There is no Boise State. There is no Fresno State. There is no SMU. There is no San Diego State. They are not on the list as a Tier 1 research facility. So without a major overhaul by the Pac-12 that says we're going to rip this academic requirement off our prerequisites for membership, and that way we can then really open it up to, okay, great football and athletic members over great, academic institutions. But without that, they're pretty much working with like second tier group of 5 teams to replace USC and UCLA, which they would then have to do en masse. Okay, and maybe they don't want that. I mean, that might be what's holding this whole thing up. But but if you want to know the list of the teams that they would be working with, I got the list of teams from the group of 5 and some FCS teams that do meet the Pac-12's academic requirements should they not overhaul this stupid, in my opinion, academic rule for membership. So, beginning with Colorado State, probably the most important one on the list, probably the most likely one on the list would be Colorado State. And I'm doing this regardless of conference affiliation. This is just all the G5 and FCS teams that meet this requirement. Colorado State, Florida International, Georgia State, Kent State, Montana State, North Dakota State, Ohio, Old Dominion, Rice, Temple, Tulane, Buffalo, UAB, Yukon, Hawaii, Louisiana Lafayette, Memphis, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, North Texas, South Florida, Southern Miss, UTEP, Utah State, Texas San Antonio, and UNLV. Those are it. Tell me, do anybody you really hear on that list, you could really run to ESPN and talk about, hey, we're bringing this team, Colorado State, Utah State, we're bringing this team over, so give us more money. Probably not. So the Pac-12 seems to be stuck in this no man's land between, do we keep to our tradition or do we go with new things just to preserve our conference? Do we do what we have to do to preserve the conference,